What makes something holy?
The Torah, the Chumash, uses the word Kedusha in a very specific way, in a narrow way. Basically, the term holiness is used in conjunction with the Beis HaMikdash. Karbones are called kachim, holy. To some degree, the house itself is called Kodesh, Beis HaMikdash. But even within the Beis HaMikdash itself, you find things where the word holy is not applied, and instead the word pure is applied, like the word Menorah HaTahira, Shulchan HaTahir. Holiness is the highest denotation, it's the highest class within the Torah form to define things that are close to God, and the second level would be pure. So on a technical level, the word holy is used to denote the highest level of ritual, of service, of involvement with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which for the most part shows itself in the sacrifices that we give to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the technical definition of holy. Now, how the technical definition of holy ties to the mystical definition of holy is involved. But let me give you the mystical definition. The mystical definition of the word holy is defined in Tanya explicitly in chapter 6. There's two criteria. Number one, bittul. And number two, hashras hashchina. This is chapter 6. It's repeated again at length in chapter 35. The first requisite for something to be holy is to have bittul. Now you know from all of my teaching that I can't translate the word bittul. There is no English word which comes close to translating it. Because any translation of the word bittul sounds so pessimistic, so negative, so self-effacing, and it's not. Bittul connotes basically an involvement with something bigger than me. When the center of my universe is myself, I don't have bittul. When the center of my universe is my creator, I do have bittul. Bittul, philosophically, is a dedication to something bigger than me. So me as an individual is not the issue. It's me as a contributor to that greater purpose. The first requisite for bittul, kedusha, is bittul. There can be no kedusha if the center of your world is you. If the center of your world is God, that's the first requirement for kedusha, and then as a consequence, the Eibishter rests. The Shechina manifests, because it says in Gemara, God cannot rest where there is no humility, and God will rest where humility is. So as soon as there is a state of bittul from our end, the Shechina is able to manifest. Or to say it in other words, when we have a real measure of tahara, of purity, which is the practical, the applied word for bittul, we open ourselves up to holiness, to kedusha. The difference between the word tahara and the word kedusha, and in context, the difference between the word bittul and the word hashras hashchina, is the following. Whenever we talk about tahara, we use a metaphor of water. Pure water versus impure water. Or wine or oil, any kind of liquid. Whenever we use the metaphor of holiness, we use the metaphor of light and fire. The difference is, water can be clean or dirty. Oil can be clean or dirty. There's no such thing as dirty light. There's light. There's no such thing as dirty fire. In other words, not only are they clean, they have no susceptibility. They're completely removed from the possibility of anything but reflecting something metaphysical, something spiritual, being physically present but revealing something which is more than physical. The best we can do is tahara. A human being can only make himself pure. And purity is, to a great extent, a synonym for bittul. My existence is in me, it's something bigger than me. If we merit, Hashem rests upon us. That resting upon us has many forms. You can call it Ruach HaKodesh, you can call it Nevuah, you can call it Shechina. But the Kedusha, the holiness, lies not in the person's preparedness, not in the first component, the bittul, but Hashem's choice to rest on the person. And when a person bittles himself, when a person purifies himself, and the Eibishter chooses to inspire him, to give him a sense of his presence, that's where holiness is. In other words, holiness is otherworldly. There is no holiness in this world. This world is maximally capable of purity. Holiness is otherworldly. Holiness is present where bittul exists. Now in Torah, that's the Beis HaMikdash, that's the temple, that's the carbon. And in the human experience, this is the bittul which makes a keli for the the Kedusha which rests from above.